When we were facing trials and tribulations for Mama, when she was being accused of all sorts of things, it turned out that, as I was just talking to her about something else, and it turned out that she was here, she had a meeting with Mama Nora Moatludi, mistress known here as Mistress Nora Moatludi. And for that reason, when it was realized, you saw in Sunday Times this week that she keeps everything. It turned out that Mama Moatludi had kept the minutes of the meeting that they had. And those minutes were used in court to show that Mama Winnie was not in Soweto on the day when those youngsters were assaulted. Thank you very much. If it was not for her, then the court could have found a different conclusion. And that is why it was found that Mama had never assaulted any child. So I'm going to call Mistress Nora Moatludi, a very close person to Mama. Let's give her a big round of applause. Long live Mama Moatludi, long live! Long live Mama Moatludi, long live! Pamela Mama Moatludi, Pamela! Siyabonga Mama Moatludi, siyabonga!
Long live the spirit of Winnie Mandela, long live! Long live Winnie Mandela, long live! Program director walizasi ketele pele president ya mokhatlo onana li ketele pele yati baruti di batho go tswa mafapeng ohle mo ba di tswang teng baagi le batjha ba Brandfort ke di dumelisa ka lebitso la Ntate la Morala mo ya halelang amen ke hobane ha re ne re qala mosebetsi ona ho itswe we are not here for the rally but now we are here for the memorial service of Winnie. So ka mantswe a mang tla agang se re tlopola mane Bibeleng ketele ya mokgatlo mo I would like to start ka bone and coming go ditaba tse go tse ke ditise le ha ke sa ba tsebe ka bophara hobane re dula Brandfort ditaba tsa le tsebe ka bophara but litsogo la nta mme Winnie Mandela le ba fihletse ba lopeletse ke Winnie Mandela hobane ha ke tso jwalo. The correct way of approaching a person IP EFF IP Ito jenana hobani kasata ka weekend aba fika ha ke ba tsibe ka hobani ba tshaba mona ho ya ka bophelo ba rona ke ba tsiba kaofela jwale ke sa tsala ke ba shebile dula mona ba dula fasi ka oh Lisibe fela ke ntwa pele re na le crisis ya metsi ke se ke nana gore motho tsala ka re o mong re kopa toilet ke tla itsa jwa relax mama baba ba itsibisa tsela ye ba approach kana are you are here ke tlo go kopa re na le memorial service ka 11 re go kopa gore o bete are ke ntla ya pele are sabete re kopa gore o tlo re bolela gore mione o mo tsebile jwa re tletse tlo tsa pedi fe ho no fela ke le ka ba ke a leboga the way you approach people you are professional Bona di bana ba ga Winnie Mandela le tswate a gona ngwana Brandfort ona ka a thuba ka nako ya Winnie Mandela go sina ngwana o ga dula mo khoneng ka nako ya Winnie Mandela bana o ne a ba phutha o na le under house arrest but mo Brandfort runa rana ramotsa ya ba a member of the family special branch o ne a dula mane ho Person Cop tabanyana ya ipitsa Person Cop ile gore o 5 ke ra mang le mang a fitang ka mona ho nna ke ne ke sena chance ke ne ke dula back opposite ya hae yena le 802 nna ke dula back opposite ha ke am sebetseng ke tshwantse ke fite mona le khawekazi elo belivuka unasa robadi wini unasa very early ka 5 o'clock aba apara ntho tsa hae ya le motle anusetsa I practice at the vegetable garden just behind the house. Utatswa nusetsa Runa as teachers, afuna mutu secho like the Africa ere huruna. Liske la buisa, musadi kamo terupongia kamo keshi ningamisa wini. Afuna ntwekire raifuma. Ipa batu bamusi ka ufela ubani banaba sebeleza makhua bulelezi. Batusi babona bafitisa kitima bafitisa za mache. Hana lazima gore ha o ka pota motho musadi ka ntleng ba ngwane o moqetile. Bana ba tseba hantle go molaetsa e tla fitela motseng ka bonako le se kana modumedisa ebile le se kana mo buisa jwale ha ke fita mona Winnie sa hae o modumedisa pele sa bona nkosikazi the memorial the environmental language here ke Sesotho and Setswana so in Elisio here we in English and other languages hape ge una was Xhosa I was here now especially go tla go teach us Xhosa. Being not a bona fide Brandfort and a bona fide of Eastern Cape going to SABC and Herschel. Elanina Casimir. Gale Moya, Wakaliana, Wukopa, Yakudumedisa, Sakwana, Mona Goskas, Nijani Goskas, Gafita Mona. Joanna Mokoni Mohakabana, in any Papoya, who register with Jalamas Sood. Giddy Bunelabon Mebana, who fit a wonder. Banabana Monana, Pape Pilebana. Piluya Winnie Imobane, Piluya Winnie was Chabin Saha. In that heart, Adula Mona, Musevets wise during the course of the day, Une Apea Utabisabome Matoyo, Abachule, Banabaka Babaka Mutate, Utabachula Badulamu, Laziba Kureba Suturuna, Ntosamahala, the Data Hampi. Now, Sadi Happy, what a Baba Bangat, Yamam says to high who pay. There was only one school called Brandfort in school San Semitomunamut. But this special president placed a Winnie in Brandfort, but Gasekaruna. But it was a blessing in disguise. Really pepe, really bomb, Makua, Akona Tompa. Really bad. Government Makua says Luena Ulimusut. Makua Batsabaku Batalabatu, Teslam Sebes, Babatalabatu, Chenet Epila. The rescue that is a Brandfort to Mona. Una only Mutomus, no Kekawa Kenamina. Una gonna face rain. Kikupa, Hob, Kikupa, Chenet. No Kekawa Gena, one only Mutomus. And two sons of Moya out of one Gahotoshi. Payena, Babuda, Rabella Kena Munyago, Rabella Ikuka Relibat. But Baba Tusanga, Banabasa, Banababon. Unazamani Muladua High in Brandfort Africa Mo, Zinzi, and you teenage to Lebe. Joanna Batubacation, Banabal Baba Paladizins. There's special bench. Uta kena muma polisa kata kusuka koyo bati lo shapa banabao akuna ntwekile ya kutusa kutuku jaka ye winu kore haidi mwana waka yena ha mo itabenzami impa banaba bafubasa for because of me banaba habaka batloge o me ba bona gore hela bophelo bo teng ka batlo ga everything yani basala banaba ba bone morao koyo ko itlatse bana basala banaba bone morao ha ke fita mo abela makoskas apa makosikazi no mafa libisela ke no mafa yena ke no mza rine libisela jwa no mafa apa makosikazi ka makosikazi azo phepha abantwana kanje baphepha abantwana kezinto okuhle engakwazi manje kuhle kubani bathi ba fryer ifloor bayetsa mdoho bafepha banaba Winnie about this is nonsense unosikitla umukala heka hayi muthu yena unamuhlopha hambi ene unafihle uloka mfihle bathu bafutsanehile kunabarata hambi we ene une afu tate dos umuhupula kali last year izake koperadia ari no mapa usanza na pila tate dos kuri keyboard tate fela wabona mos hu Winnie inele bathu babuhlongo unaka kena bukhukhu ahula tonka adule motonkeni ngwana wa pele JJ Koto e hana hlokafela Winnie a completely a tla ko ntlo a khanna lefu leo a nka lekese a le beya mamagetleng batjha ba bona gore hela go etswa jena so those burning orders ad observer in Brandfort a fumana le high ke ka ho at the end of 79 hana a ngolla ngolo anare mo bophelong ba ka ke kana go fumana that church kaluna in Brandfort a ke go leboga gore go ne le sebete ka mehla o be ngwaneso ke ka re ke sa utse ke ribeile batho ba morena ribeile all the memories about Winnie the LPs tsa Yumasikela ba bane ko Zimbabwe bane ba mo rumela ho hong ke ribeile ntho tsena ke lokisetse ke nana gore misel ka tsa tseleng ka ne re display kote ke garage ya ka ho faili ntate wa ga yo ineli health inspector ona khimona e tla ha bo se abare ba tle go molahlela mo ke bone dibuka dingata mona di tletse hohle ntate ga yo a reka abatho be le go tla roba ba pota kankane ho bane ba emetse prince ntate mosekwana mothabeng ba tsamaya mehlana bana ba theohe jale ha ba tsamaile ba tla pota kankane bana ba robala haka all the comrades ne robala haka fast a gona mo ene di room house mo ke dula teng impa bana ba robala teng ile gore ka bosane ha ba fitla ba ye go gena raka eo ya maplanka se se le makhase ntsheke mo ona pakela dibuka tse e entse ke ntate mo yengwe ya ha e robala ka khotso le ntate wa ga Yumasikela ntho tsena ka ofela ke di beile mabox ana ka beile ke lokisetsa museum batho ba morena ba a ditse ngabe ke re batjha ke kopa gore lokisang ditaba a ke riri tšhelete se ya dula go e dulang teng ai age bana ba kuna le bana ba tla ba fihlika mona ho nna I am president mesina citizen na ba sa sebetsa bana ba tla re ho thi re tlo botsa gore nta mme Winnie una rata eng una yetsa eng ke be ke re a tla re bibi ara re bane batho ba re be re tlo qoqang ka taba se people ba batla go tsiba ka Winnie Kika ho ka Sonta this Easter Monday ke ne ke le Pinville Exchange second my sister-in-law na para ke mo support ka Sonta ga ka re mo go bona ke tsamaya I cannot drive home ke sa bona Winnie ke be ke re ge mora le ditlogolo tsa ka ke se ke le pile ke di kokomana a re yeng go ha Winnie just to say hi ke drive le ka ya go Orlando ke be ke ya lona Peterson music ka re bona ka bana ba tshabatse ba history le ngone mo le yetse indi le ye le mo ga ntete Desmond Tutu le bone ngwane bana ba dula teng le ye le mo Vilakas le bone le tletse ke ho bone ke history ke ba sotse ba ke thaka tsa lona jena ha ba kata mo security ke khale re yeme mo ke ya go security bona ikwaletse ke a kokota security a hlahi ha a hlaga ke be ke re ke tsibisa ke nna no mafamo a hlodi ke tswa ko Brandfort ke ne ke rata go bua go bona mama a re go nna ha o mama ha monate wa se a re ene ka boma a tla ka usana ke be ke re I'm driving back home a re ene Gaddafi o simana a tswa jwale nka be ke re Gaddafi ka mohlolo mona tla go etsetsa plan ke be ke re okay no a gona bothata ke ya hae a go mphe pampiri tsana fela ke mo fe molaetsa tla fola ka fumana molaetsa o ke nna o ampa pampiri tsana fela jena ene ile sentle wa bona ke be ke ngola a date ja ka Mr. Somaloba ke ba prepare date time ha ke kata just to say hi Nomzam we love you all from Brandfort you get well soon ke ngola my cell number ha ke ta ngola my cell number ke ya koloi ke be ke re ho bana sainang mabitso a lona le di cell number tsa lona lona di tlogolo mabitso a lona ke be ke etsa in bracket ha ba qeta ho signa ka all my grandchildren are here ke ne the security back ke a drive ka Mantaga bana ba se bona ba tla o phuma ka Mantaga ke santsana ke shekile ka one ke shebele ditaba phone ya ke from my son mama are you not tired no I'm all right hey mama is no more what do you mean I was just a little bit confused what do you mean hey I'm praying people I was so bitter ke ne ke utlwile botlhoko kana metsi ka robala the whole day moya wa hae a robale ka kgotso ke mesebetsi ya modimo na etsa ka bojotlhe gore batho ba Brandfort a tsebe gore batho ba Brandfort re ne re rata go mo fa that moral support even le ka motsotso wa delase ene baruti ka pani ke gore dintho tsotlhe ka etsa ke rona empa ka tate modimo baruti bohle ba ile ba ne ba mfa support. This operation hanga ya ina Pelmon ine itla kgapetsa itla fortnightly go sena mo re pakateng dimilimili a itse go nna ke tla go tsebisa go metswalle ya ka nnete metswalle ya hao bo Helen moya bo le Robert Kgosa Khuzwayo le Mrs Motla ba be batla be ria jenana ko Western moruti wa Western the Bishop's Court ke ena ela mphamala ari mama could you kindly please be strong be next to this mother. I'm getting to a synod. I am going to make the land available for you to break its disgrace. So of course he did. About sebedisa holo ya wese. Ka sebedisa holo ya wese. Ka rumela motho bo me ba 4 ba se ba ditengole bana ba bone ba banki ba se tse bolo botata. Gore ba ikontokozwe. Ya tshete ke a win. A ke tsebe go nna ifumana ka. But ba ile ba train at Ntokozweni. When coming back from Ntokozweni ka metswale ya bona ba setse ba re donated a mobile clinic jwale ine ingotse that for Swahili kumbi Hector Peterson jwale go ba ka lebitso leo Brandfort a tsebe gore what is it libulela eng ke Hector Peterson because in the rural areas what's about the kurata Brandfort ha di fitli ra mehleng e se bona se ke ra mehlang e re bua ka khala ke it's a musicabo no baba inka special branch rasala khapi impala go dijalo wine akanya hama wila amakamanga ari baruti ba there were 38 churches go Brandfort by then I do not know now because I'm out of line now 38 churches le baruti ba teng ari mutu o molomong afumane milimili sopo dikubo ba fe magamete abo this frightener Winnie I saw my root ka mo ke pekan moya wa hairo ba ka khotso ile le moruta kereke ka ile a kene ke ye Winnie a sebedisa e be le gore ba ruti ka o fela jwane ba khona go ka fana ka milimili mo dikereke tsa bona kere dikereke tsa mi tsa hula mosebetsi ya modimo wa tswella and moruti all the bishop from Anglican Church Bishop Thomas William Bulu kam support morally unatlisa misa mona most that day obani lienda ka bona ge wa ke no ke ka kena ban ba amkhela misa ka bona and we not only there that family bond will I keep us so obani the yanga sitabisa nyane une adula mo bulithata as mo clinic in go mezozo ye in any clinic kamera go banke that falls wagen ka re practice bo clinic mo ha ile ba tsa bona ile go da bo ateka aba fumane ko Brandfort ba go grocery uno skitla we rutititi ha ane le mo una bala ka institutions of hata ha are roma kwa butswa are ro ba metswele ya ga bo comrade hutela ko butswa ka basi ke tsama ya le wa mocha thabo mohono mo ya ga ro ba ka khoso re sina dibuka tsena di passport ibele gore nna ka Eastern Cape ke tsama ka incwadi yokundwendwela thabo mohono una khana dikoloi tsena za tsedi yang kwana dikwana ana di bukana ya mosipili uta re tla tloga mo ka Freita ga re ya go Botswana ronka di info from batho ba hae ba tsa go Zimbabwe trainer ya Zimbabwe wa ikena mo security ka Sontaga wa re tla khanna jwalo re khutlela hae 10 to 8 ke udima situpi sa Brandfort ke ntse ke bina ke conduct my morning prayers
Now, if you want to know the brutality of apartheid police, somebody like that, such a God-fearing woman, They thought that her notes were doctored. They took them to handwriting experts, and they found that those notes had been written 16 months before, as she had said. Let's give her a big round of applause. And when we talking about the good approach, our president approached the family, the Mandela family in Orlando West, before we could announce this gathering. And when he was discussing with the family there, and he said, we would like one of the family members to come. And they said, no, but we have family there in Brandfort. Here's the number. Let's call Me Muahludi. Raleboga Me Muahludi. And now we're going to call a friend of Mama's and a member of the Women's League, Advocate Nomazocho Memani, to share a few words with us. She was also in and out at the house and shared very special moments with Mama. Viva Mama Winnie Mandela, viva! Viva! Comrade Zocho.
EFF gore le re invite gore re tle re tlo bua ka mme Winnie. Ha ke batla ho repeata ntho tse bueleng ka yena, ke batla ho bua tse tswang mo pelong ya ka. Because I happened to gore ke dula le mme Winnie until her last days. Ya ka ke ra ke batla ho last days, yes. I'm just gonna talk about Winnie. You know, I think we all know in the early 90s. I'm not gonna talk about the apartheid. Apartheid was its enemy, of course. But I'm just gonna talk about her organization. Winnie, she had to resign from all the positions at some stage. And then she was going to the squatter camps, you know, Atamaisa Dijo, the food parcels for the poor, as everybody says. You know, we sat down, we were young women at the time of the ANC Women's League, from 14 regions. At the time, we were still the regions. So I happened to be the regional secretary of the Western Transvaal, which is Northwest now. And then we sat down, we had meetings, we said, no. What is happening to our mama, we don't like it. And because we knew the reasons why. We knew she was so powerful, she had the masses behind her, and she was a threat to a key position. We knew that. But then we said, because Mama was a member of the ANC, we were members of the ANC. Then we said, Satisism land Mama. And indeed, we continued with our meetings. Then came the 1993 conference. You know, with the help, of course, not only us, with the help of Abu Babuheri Kwala and the other elderly women. So we brought her back in the conference of the 1993. And as a result of that conference, there were no resolutions that were taken. You know why? Because Winnie was the president of the ANC Women's League. Because masses, women, said we want her to come back. She came back, and then some members of the league, they were saying it was a chaotic conference, but for me it was the best conference because we deliberated. We were deliberating from the floor. We were discussing from the floor. And then she won. Then we went into the NEC. I happened to become part of that NEC. And then in the NEC, we'll discuss things. You know, when Mama talks, she will talk and talk and talk, and nobody will disagree with her. We agree. But then other things will happen. But then, you know why I'm raising this thing? I just want to raise an issue of, I think it was 11 NEC members who resigned. We saw it on TV. They did not resign in the structure of the NEC Women's League. I'm saying it with bold. We saw it on TV. ANC intervened. Then there was an investigation. I mean, that 11, you know, we're still continuing to form the quorum. We could have just continued as a normal organization. But then, shortly, I just want to say, you know, under her leadership, you know, we had challenges, serious challenges, because it's, you know, in the ANC Women's League, you find that there were, you know, interference with the operations of the ANC Women's League. There were a number of things. I just want to say something, you know, because, you know, I stayed with Mama until the last days. There was a Sambo case. There was a bank called Sambo. And then there was a man who came, I think he was from Cape Town, who came and made a presentation to the ANC Women's League. Okay, and then... Sorry for that, yes. And then in that particular matter, you know, that guy came and introduced the Sambo as a stock fund, one, and then they were also offering the loans for, you know, for the poor people. And then women applied for those loans. But later on, what happened? There was a case now against Mama Winnie. Mama Winnie never benefited a loan from that bank, first of all. She never benefited. But there was a case against her in Pretoria High Court, and then she went, and the members of the Women's League were not there to support her. It was only Yvonne Makume. Unfortunately, I was at university at the time, because you know, people were very close to Mama Winnie were not enjoying, you know, the luxury of the ANC at the time. So there was that case. It's one of the things that kept her worried, you know, because she was worried about that case. But then what I also want to say, you know, all of us were talking about powerful Mama. We're talking about, you know, mother of the nation. But my question as an individual, I'm just asking myself, why was Mama Winnie not afforded a position of minister? Because she was always in the... Okay, yeah. Why was she not afforded that position? And then, you know, there are a number of things that I wanted to share, but then because of time, and then I'm not going to share all of them. But maybe I will share my speech, I will provide my speech to the leadership of the EFF. But the only few things that I want to say to the parliamentarians, Minister Twele and members of parliament, please, let's make a point that Section 25, the property clause of the Constitution, is amended as soon as possible before the elections, so that Mama does the best. Secondly, I would like Parliament and government to commit the business sector to ensure that the business sector creates jobs, quality jobs, sustainable and quality jobs for our people. She will be very much here. And there's a legislation, yes, there's a one, just the last thing, there's a legislation called PEPUDA, is the promotion of equality and prevention of unfair labor, of unfair discrimination. I would like parliamentarians to visit that legislation and check what is happening with that legislation, because that legislation has got a teeth to deal with issues of racism. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Right, Right, I hand over to my co-host for the cultural program so that we can shake the body a little bit. I can see that we need to shake it, yeah? Yeah.
There is no longer anything I can fear. There is nothing the government has not done to me. There isn't any pain I haven't known. Re a leboha ka tsohle tsa re etseditseng tsona. Jwale ke nako ya hore re eme le rona re le basadi hobane o itse wa thinta umfazi wa thinta mbokoto ha re bitse mbokoto e nngwe ntuthu
Hey,
jwang le botle ba yona ra e bona ke viva Africa Borwa viva viva basadi viva re bitsa jwale award-winning artist. O reng ha bina nenne ho na le pina ya hae ke e ratang. A re yena o ready. Hobane jwale ke nako. Ke Simphiwe Tana. baphisani viva. Amandla. Solomon.
Malaika nakupenda malaika ningekuwa maliwe ningekuwa nashinda na mali sina nakupenda malaika nashinda na mali sina nakupenda malaika gidege
with an all-woman band. Did you see? Another round of applause for that. That is beautiful. I can tell you la pele. I can remember we say Rilwana Reapili. Hare Eli. We say Viva Reapili. Viva Winnie Mandela, viva! Viva Winnie Mandela, viva! Arabu Helen Ringo Mashigosi.
For sure. Just like my blood is red. Sure. Yeah. In fact, before we tell Molui, oh, you got the tattoo, Namanza, above. Yeah?
Look at
Amandla! Amandla! Viva Rainbow, viva! Viva Simphiwe, viva! Viva all our artists, viva! Sabonga, cool. Oh, that was uplifting, very uplifting. Now we're going to call the last one of our guests who have blessed this occasion, and she has to rush back to Cape Town, but we refused that she could go without saying a word to you, and that is none other than our comrade Patricia de Lille. Viva Comrade Pat, viva! Viva Comrade Pat, viva! Hands off, Patricia de Lille, hands off!
Amandla! Amandla! Long live the undying spirit of our comrade, mother, sister, Winnie Madikizela. I greet you in the name of her undying spirit. And I want to thank the EFF for inviting me to pay tribute to our mother. Thank you very much. We all know Mama Winnie. She always spoke truth to power. And Mama Winnie's truth did not change. She spoke truth to power to the previous regime, and she spoke truth to power to the current regime. Because the truth never changed. That is how we know Mama Winnie. Fearless. We know that she only feared her God. And that's why that last Sunday before she left us, she spent all of those hours in church. But I want to start by speaking about all of those critics who are now criticizing our mother. And I want to say to them, they are the same critics who didn't say anything during the struggle against apartheid. Today you can't find anyone that supported apartheid. And who are they to criticize our mother? One day, Comrade Juju, like I like to call him, we must go and fetch that voters' roll, and we will see how they voted for apartheid in droves. You know what I learned from Mama Winnie? That politics is not for sissies. Politics is not for sissies. That when you are in politics, there's no rules for men, there's no rules for women, there's just the rules, and she played by the rules, and she played the game better than most of them. She wasn't the kind of politician that when you hit her on the one cheek, she gives the other cheek, she claps you back. She wasn't that kind of politician. But what do we have today? Today you have a lot of plastic politicians who are there for their stomach, who are not there for the people of our country. I will remember Mama Winnie, that she remained principled. She always stayed with the principles. But when nobody could beat Mama Winnie, she remained firm with the principles, but flexible with tactic and strategy. That's where Mama Winnie beat the apartheid regime time and time again, because she understood what is tactics and strategy. And so there's a lot that we could learn from Mama. Mama also believed that the problems of our people knows no political affiliation. When you don't When you are landless, when you are poor, it doesn't ask you which political party you belong to. And she was there for every one of the poor people. I used to work together with Mama Winnie in the informal settlements as ANC and PAC because she taught me that the problems of our people knows no political affiliation. That's the Mama Winnie that we must remember. There are many memories that I want to share with you. But let me tell you one memory, and I can say it today because it's safe to say so. I used to sit with Mama Winnie in Parliament, and we used to work out questions that I will ask in Parliament. And one of the questions that I asked in Parliament led to my suspension out of Parliament. For 15 days they suspended me. Of course the court overruled them. So Comrade Malema, I was the first one to be chucked out of Parliament without a hearing. But Mama was so clever. Mama said to me, now you go in there, my sister, and you don't accuse them, just ask the question. Can you confirm or deny that you were spies during the apartheid years? And Mama gave me those names, and I rumbled off the names, and of course I got suspended. Mama, I will always remember that moment and all the many other questions that we shared together. In 2000 in Durban, when we had a government led by then President Thabo Mbeki, who believed that HIV/AIDS did not exist, we marched together in Durban with Mama Winnie to demand ARVs for our people. I said to Thabo Mbeki in Parliament, you say ARVs is toxic. Why is it not toxic for some of the members of Parliament that are sitting here that's using ARVs, but it's toxic for the poor? So lastly, comrades, you know what? I've lost a dear friend. The last time she phoned me was in December. And she says, hi man, you know that giggle and that husky voice? She said, what are those boys doing to you, man? Those boys don't know who they are dealing with. And then she laughed and laughed and laughed. And I assured her, I said, Mommy Winnie, I've got it under control, but thank you for your support. Last night, I played my favorite song, but I thought it is also a favorite song for Mama Winnie, because she was not only the mother of the nation, she was the flower of the nation. Listen to Jonas Gwangwa. That Winnie was the flower of the nation, our flower of the nation, and our mother of the nation. So as I say thank you to all of you, let me tell you one more thing before I forget. In 1995, we were in Beijing at a women's conference. We were all there, members of Parliament. That time Mama Winnie was separated from Tata. You know how badly they treated Mama Winnie. When she arrived in Beijing, they did not even go fetch her at the airport. When she arrived at the hotel, she didn't ever have a room. I gave my room to her, and I moved in a room with nation. Mbekatli, a flower of the nation. You know, she was so tough, but she cried with us. She was very, very soft. And then within a second, she can turn into that anger. Because I think our problem today, we are not angry enough so that we can deal with all of the challenges that we face in our beautiful country. What I want to say about Mama Winnie, Mama, yes, you might have made mistakes, but let us tell South Africa, you might have made mistakes, but being wrong was not one of them, because you knew and you understood the struggles of our people. And that is how we will remember you. Now, I'm worried when she arrived there at the pearly gates. She's going to start most probably a branch of the ANC, or she's going to start a branch with the EFF, maybe. But we know that the soul rest in peace. She has given everything. She's given her life. Her family became the casualty in the struggle for freedom. And we must never, never, ever forget what Mama Winnie did for us and how she sacrificed. Mbekatli, my friend, and may your soul rest in peace.
Medilil.
Amanda, you hear that she said she was the first one to be kicked out of parliament. So I think she's ready. Don't you think she's ready? Booyah, Auntie Pat, booyah. Booyah, Auntie Pat, booyah. Woza 2019, woza. Pass up.
Matla ya rona ha re bua ka borena mino re bua ka ba latelang ha ke re ntse re le mo ntse re le teng a ke re ntse re ya ke re ntse re viva mme wa rona viva viva mme wa rona viva a re bitseng metuno kwe a tsamaya le Dade Kaifas le Meletambulu.
All right, so we're just about to hear from Kaifa Semenya and Letambulu, two iconic figures of South African music and very much a part of the struggle both at home and abroad over many, many years. And they're going to be singing shortly, just now actually preparing to sing on stage. And then after that, we'll hear from the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Julius Malema. And we've just heard from Patricia de Lille and paying tribute to her sister, her friend, and someone she spent many days, times and moments with over years, and she shared a few moments with us. But let's listen to Kaifa Semenya and Letambulu leading us in song in celebrating Mama Winnie. Oh, it's Tunoke, sorry.
Asicule sonke lo mhlaba uzobuswa amatshentshi lo mhlaba uzobuswa amatshentshi lo mhlaba uzobuswa amatshentshi yo 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 bukhali besembe yo 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 Uyazi kuthola isimanga akuyona le ngoma engingenela ngithi ngizoyenza kodwa kwasuka umoya nje wangihlebela wathi hayi ake uphule kwangempela nanso ingoma bengizoyenza ke le ngoma is specially dedicated to umama Winnie uzoyizwa ngoba nawe iqondene nawe izothulisa umoya nje ukuze abazali bethu mabengena emva kwami bangene sengikhuluma indaba enkulu eqondene nayo umama Winnie ngisakhula ngimncinyana ngambuza umama ngekusasa la When I was just a little girl, I asked my mama, what will I be? Will I be pretty? She was pretty, eh? Will I be rich? She was rich as well, because she's loved by all of us. This is what my mama said. Hey, Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be. The future is not ours to see. Hey, Sarah, Sarah, kungakho wayiloku eqhubekile. And then I grew up, I fell in love. I asked my lover what lies ahead. Will there be rainbows day after day? Here's what my lover mntwana wam. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce my parents. Umama uLetta Mbulu, nontate Semenya.
So you've just listened to the voice and the songs from Tu Nokwe, another celebrated artist in South Africa, being part of the celebrations here today, but leading up to our next artist now, Kaifa Semenya and Letambulu. They'll be leading the song and the cheer as they commemorate and remember and celebrate the life of Mama Winnie. And hopefully soon after that you'll be able to hear from the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, Julius Malema.
Dumelang, le kae, le rona re teng. Re batla ho dumedisa Commander-in-Chief of the EFF, re batla ho dumedisa the official leadership of the EFF, and we want to greet the membership of the EFF, and thank you. And we also say protocol observed. Rita Tsapina me worked very hard for rona kaofela. Aba bereka mo a tshwarwa tlisa mona. But you know what she did? She carried on. In spite of it all, she carried on. So o re tlogetse le mosebetsi o mogolo gore kaofela rona we must carry on. There's a man by my side walking. There's a voice within me talking. There's a word that needs saying. Carry on. Carry on. They will tell they are lying stories. Send their dogs to bite our deeds. They will lock us in their prisons. Carry on. Carry on. All the dogs will lie rotting. All their lives will be forgotten. All their prison walls will crumble. Carry on.
on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
If you can't go on any longer, take the hand held by your brother. Every victory will bring another. Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry on.
Carry
Carry
on.
on. We are going. We are going. We are going.
And just where we are going, we will win. We will get there. We know just how we will get there. We know we will. It will be hard, we know. And the road will be hard and rough. We will get there. We know just how we will get there. We know we will. There will be tears, we know, and the road will be hard and rough. We will get there. We know just how we will get there. We know we will carry on. Carry on. Carry on.
Carry on. Thank you. In 2016, September 26, Rinderly Cape Town, Mani, in a birthday, Winnie, and remember Hore, Rito Mine like a birthday high. gore re be mona ha ra tla ka bane re sa mo tsebe re mo tseba hantle kile ra mminela hape pina ene re tlo ibina jwale ke pina re tlwaetseng ho ibina as a love ballad between nna le Meleta empa ka sheko lena yana ka birthday hae rile ra re ho yena sis Winnie, this song we sing it in your honor, we dedicate it to you. When we say because of you I love you, I'm not saying it to my wife, she's not saying it to me, we are saying it to you. Because of everything that you have been to us, for everything that you have been, that you went through this country. And that's why we sang Carry On. Now, with this one, we want to say we love you. And Moilenteng, Mudima Beluena, Lebadimba Beluena, Dimtlakopana Tatilele.
We are so true, and we love you. Yes, we do. Oh, you're so true, and we love you. Yes, we do. Oh, because of you, my world is such a beautiful place. Because of you, I have sunshine every day. You've made me see just what love is supposed to be. I feel brand new, and it's all because of you.
Because of you, my world is like a wonderful song. Because of you, I have a sunshine every day. You made me see just what love is supposed to be. And I feel brand new, and it's all because of you.
You're so true, and we love you. Yes, we do. Oh, you're so true, and we love you. Yes, we do.
Because of you. Bophelo ba ka bo monate.
Because of you, it's a maya kamaheta ahudimo.
You made us see just what love is supposed to be. We feel brand new, and it's all because of you.
You're so true, and we love you. Yes, we do. Oh, you're so true, and we love you.
you. Thank you very much. Mama Willie, sorry, I see concert ka chene. Reta di pina tso di tsana di rata. A ke re nele mme wa wesele. Ona le red bike ya ke. And a pina e kgolo go wesele. Ki dumetse ho morena. Jale ka tswa re kwa le teng. O thabile ha re bona re le bona. Re bina pina tsena tsa di rata. O ka re joina empa o ska re senyetsa gole le tlaile o ska opela le rona
Mama Winnie nale mo bana na palatlhela matlapa ka June 16 o nale ko pele aba eba leader. She wasn't behind them, but she was in front of them, and we do appreciate that very much. She taught me personally to be courageous, to tell my truth as I see it, and I will miss her a great deal. I know kaofela rona ne re mo rata ka dipelo tsa rona kaofela.
No re lebogile haholo a ke re ke tshilo ka ra se concert re tlile se hopotso re a leboga ba ga ithu ya kgolo re kwa le teng o itumetse re bine pina tsa hae tsa di rata a se tsohle di entswe ke wena
out with the untying spirit of Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela forward. Thank you very much. We have come to that point, that moment we have always monitors now. The President, a revolutionary, Mr. President, Comrade Julius Malema, Commander-in-Chief.
Amanda. Long live the undying spirit of Mama Winnie, long live. Long live the fighting spirit of Mama Winnie, long live. Amanda. Viva EFF, viva. Viva DA, viva. Viva ANC, viva. Viva Black consciousness, viva. Amanda. Thank you very much. Let me take this opportunity to thank our national chairperson, officials of the EFF, to thank members of the CCT, to also thank the leadership of Free State, the hosting region, and all the ground forces of the EFF. Let me also thank our religious leaders who are here, who have honored us and blessed this important occasion. Special thanks to all those who spoke here today. We feel revived and energized by your messages. And we are going to leave this place highly determined to continue the fight which was started by Mama Winnie. Comrades, fellow South Africans, we gathered today with our hearts filled with painful sorrow in this dark hour of our people's loss. A gigantic tree of the people, under whose comforting shade many generations sat and were embraced by its millions branches during moments of despondency, directionless, tragedy, and distress. It was the tree that grew out of the grounds of so much pain and sorrow. The pain of human suffering perpetrated by those who worked the gardens of hatred, racial oppression, and ethical mass murder. These gardeners hoped to dry the great people's tree dead by denying it water, yet its roots grow even stronger, penetrating deeper into the grounds that were its support. Despite the blowing storms of imprisonment, torture, and abuse meant to break down, it still blossomed in the thousands flowers of love, tenacity, and humanity. It is the tree that was a home to many nets of freedom birds, and because they were resident of its million branches, eating from its sweet and nursing fruits, they flew across the world skies, spreading its seeds of courage, self-love, selflessness, authenticity, and uncompromising love for human freedom. Today, this tree has fallen. Its branches have succumbed to the age of centuries. And because of that, despondency seems threatening to overcome a feeble heart, for we know of very few such trees under whose shades a people could gather in one mind, one love, captivated by one future in the destiny of human freedom. Amidst so much confusion created by the noise it created when it finally hit the ground, when we follow the melodic sounds of its resident birds as they flock out in thousands, leaving the nests that now lay destroyed on the ground. When we rise our heavy hearts to cast an eye into the skies,
in the direction of these freedom birds, we discover that in not so distant horizon, the seeds of great people's tree has grown and multiplied into million forests. We now realize that the great people's tree has not fallen, but multiplied into million other trees whose shades can provide cover for the oppressed, neglected, poor masses of our people. Here, I speak of Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela. Such people do not die. They live eternally because their seeds always survive the highest of conditions. The seeds of a tree grow even in concrete. They are indestructible. They are small, yet they develop into gigantic trees that always give shades to the distressed. We have come to Brandfort, which is a town that should have been her end, a town in which a name should have met its disappearance from the names of heroes and heroines. We have come to Brandfort, where the apartheid regime banished her for 9 years into house arrest with the mindless hope that because the people of Brandfort will never embrace her and she will dissolve into insignificant presence in their midst. Because they are racist, who never appreciated that African humanity has a stronger way of communicating. They thought simply because Mama did not speak Sesotho, the people of Brandfort will not connect with her. The people of Brandfort never turned their back. Instead, they responded to the great magnetic personality and presence that is Mama Madikizela-Mandela. For 9 years of a stay under house arrest with them, they, like birds, built their nest on the millions branches of a gigantic tree spirit. We make no apology for bringing the EFF memorial service to this great community of Brandfort to give voice to their own story with Mama. We make no apology that like the murderous apartheid regime banished her with the hope of isolation, the past apartheid government has also banished and isolated her people, the people of Brandfort. It's not an exaggeration that the isolation of the people of Brandfort is best represented by the fact that her prison cell, which is house number 802 across the street from us, is dilapidated, yet the statue of Paul Kruger decorated Church Square in Pretoria, receiving protection from a democratic government. They could not protect the house that housed their own, yet they protect the statue of Paul Kruger, yet they protect everything else that reminds us of apartheid. They failed to protect their own, yet they protect the murderers who killed the people who fought for our democracy. They failed to protect the cell of Winnie Mandela called House 802, yet they protected the statue of Rhodes in UCT, yet they protect every symbol that reminds us of our difficult past. They will not dare defend that which gives us hope and courage. No better evidence than the people of Brandfort, like Mama Winnie Mandela, have been isolated than the fact that this municipality, there is no TVET college for thousands of young people who want to further their education. Mama Nora spoke here and said Nomzamo did not want the youth to occupy the corners of the streets. She wanted them to go to school. She wanted them to be better people. Till to date, there is no institution of higher learning in this place against the wishes of Winnie Mandela. Despite the fact that there are mines like Beatrix and Star Diamond, unemployment in Brandfort is extremely high. The people of Brandfort live without basic infrastructure and services. Even under those conditions, they still never forget Mama Winnie Mandela and her movement. We are therefore here to draw attention to Brandfort. Even when they ill-treat you, even when they take water from you, even when you are not working, even when they continue to ill-treat you and isolate you, you never forgot Winnie Mandela, neither did you forget her own organization. You continue to vote for them. Why? Because you are following in the footsteps of Winnie Mandela. You have not lost hope. You think because Winnie comes from here, Winnie was banished here, maybe one day something will happen. All we ask is for this government to give the youth of this area a TVET college. All we ask is for the businesses of this area, including the mines, to give these communities the shares in those mines. All we ask is that the children of Nomzamo should have a clinic that operates 24 hours, because that is what Winnie wanted for the people of Brandfort. We know that house number 802, when Mama Nomzamo was here, she gave the people a clinic. An individual who was banned, who was supposed not to interact with anyone, who was watched 24 hours by the killing machine, she still provided a clinic. You've got a government which is not threatened by anything. It can't give anything better than what Winnie Mandela gave the people of Brandfort. What a shame is the ANC government. An individual can provide a clinic. The government comes and provides a clinic worse than the clinic provided by an individual. Winnie Mandela is better than the government of the ANC combined. Comrades, Brandfort is the town that gave South Africa Hendrik Verwoerd, the architect of apartheid, from 1958 to 1966, when he was assassinated by Dimitri Tsefandas. It was when Verwoerd was Minister of the Native Affairs that the Bantu Education Act, that the Group Areas Act, the Pass Laws Act were passed. He was the mastermind of the forced removals, separate development, creation of native homelands and townships. Here where you stay, it is not a residential area. This is not a suburb. This is a prison which was designed by Verwoerd and them to keep the black people who get released in the morning when they go to work, and once they finish their work, they must go back into the prison barracks called a township. There is nothing to be glorified about this. That's why it's far from the white minority suburbs. This was designed by Verwoerd and his own regime. As Prime Minister, Verwoerd presided over the banning of the PAC, the SACP and the ANC. He presided over the brutal murder of black people in the 1960 Sharpeville massacre. It was under Verwoerd that Robert Sobukwe was arrested, and a law passed called Sobukwe Closed to keep him imprisonment in Robben Island and ultimately under house arrest for all his life. We have seen a DA passing a new law in their constitution called Dilele Clause, following in the footsteps of Verwoerd, passing Sobukwe clause. How history like repeating itself in a funny way. It was under Brandfort that Nelson Mandela, Govan Mbeki, Walter Sisulu, Ahmed Kathrada, Elias Motsoaledi, Raymond Mhlaba, and many other leaders of the liberation movement were sentenced to life imprisonment in Robben Island after the Rivonia trial. It is under Brandfort that Mama Winnie Mandela came into public recognition as an activist in the Rivonia trial demonstration and protest. This very Brandfort came from here, Brandfort, this town where Mama Winnie Mandela was banished and put under house arrest. I use this platform to remind you of where we come from. For because it is through the powerful stories of revolutionaries that many of us will come to appreciate the history of our country. Brandfort was born in Netherlands, and his family migrated here in Brandfort due to their love and solidarity with the plight of Afrikaner people. In this way, he arrived here like his ancestor Jan van Riebeck, who sailed 3 ships that landed in Cape Town in 1652 on the 6th of April. In this very April, Mama Winnie has left us. The same April that 366 years ago marked the beginning of colonization of black people. It is the same April in which a racist killed Chris Hani in 1993. For many years, the colonial and apartheid governments celebrated Van Riebeck as the founder of their settlement in this country. They celebrated the 6th of April as the day their successful conquest of Southern Africa began. Like Brandfort, Jan van Riebeck claimed because the Khoi and the San people did not have title deeds to demonstrate that this was their land, thus they too were foreigners. For him, the Cape and ultimately all of South Africa was a no man's land, since those who had been living there for thousands of years did not have paper to show that this was their land. That attitude demonstrates that Jan van Riebeck treated black people as
all right, so the weather is playing havoc a little bit there in the Free State, and that's part of the reason why we've lost that signal. We'll try and re-establish it, but the Commander-in-Chief of the EFF was paying tribute to Winnie Madikizela-Mandela, saying, and started by talking about her, describing her as a powerful tree, and that whilst a lot of people were looking at her and seeing a tree that has fallen, he reminded them that what had actually happened was that she had seeds that had planted from her branches and had grown new forests. Let's try and go back now to Julius Malema.
Mkhonto wesizwe revolutionary and a selfless liberation fighter was sentenced to death, and on this day in 1979 he was hanged in Pretoria to send a message to all black people, particularly activists who wanted to challenge the regime, that if you dare disrupt the white minority regime, you shall follow in the footsteps of Solomon Mahlangu. Only 22 years of age, Solomon Mahlangu belonged to the fearless 1976 generation of students who took to the street to demonstrate against the apartheid regime's imposition of Africans as a medium of instruction. The racist white minority regime met these students who were unarmed, peacefully demonstrating. They shot them and killed them. A lot of students were killed by the regime, and it took only Mama Winnie to go and pick up those bodies and make sure that those who survived, they get a proper passage out of South Africa. April has got a story to tell with regard to the history of our country. When they killed Solomon Mahlangu, when they shot the students, they wanted to suppress the black youth, but it was not going to be, because the black youth was prepared to fight. Only a month after the shooting of the students in June 16, 1976, a Congress of South African Students was formed on the 31st of May. COSAS was a demonstration of a defiant youth which is prepared to confront death in exchange of their freedom. No amount of senseless death, hanging, and state of emergency could put a stop to the unstoppable fight of the black youth against the racist regime. Today, following the passing of Mama Winnie Mandela, instead of highlighting this brutality of the apartheid regime, pointing fingers at Verwoerd's hatred that exiled the ANC, imprisoned political leaders, including the father of her children, under life imprisonment. Instead of pointing fingers at the brutality of apartheid against an unarmed black youth in 1976, the regime Mama Winnie mobilized against, many chose to focus on the lies and propaganda peddled by the system and sexist patriarchal men of the ANC. Today, we've heard so many things said about Mama Winnie. We've heard so many negative things said about her. We are not told about the brutality which made Mama to be what she was. Instead of telling us the enemies of Mama, we are being told every pettiness around Mama Winnie. And this, it is done by the men in the ANC. People do not want to highlight the condition under which Mama Winnie lived and witnessed. That her home was the first stop for many teenage youth that were being harassed, hunted and killed by the military that was occupying township schools in Soweto. By 1986 alone, it was estimated that about 8,000 detainees were below the age of 18. And all those young people, not young people, children, were treated the same way as adults. All of those things don't get to be highlighted. We are told of the negativities that surround Winnie Mandela. We want to say to the leadership of the EFF, you must never be like this patriarchal man of the ANC and treat the women of the EFF the same way the ANC treated an African woman. We must say to the leadership of the EFF, when you are given an opportunity to share leadership responsibilities with a woman, you must give her to shine more and not want to steal the limelight. Because when you do that, you are repeating the sins of the African National Congress, who could not embrace the shine of an African rural woman, a self-seeking male who issued instructions not only from Robben Island, not only from exile, not only from underground, instructions that this woman must never be celebrated. Whatever you do, please try to isolate this woman. If you do that in the EFF, you must know that you are following in the wrong footsteps. Winnie did not do anything wrong to the ANC, including a tire and a matchbox. There was nothing wrong to the ANC about that, because the ANC policy was every sellout must disappear. They did not only disappear here in South Africa, they disappeared even in exile under O.R. Tambo. O.R. Tambo might not have used a tire and a box of matches. He used an automatic rifle, shot at those who were regarded as enemies and impimpis. But when an African woman says, let's do that which they are doing in exile and isolate the sellouts to protect the majority of our people and eliminate this enemy of the people, because it is said by a woman, an African rural woman, it's wrong. She never burned anyone with a tire. She never used any box of matches. Under O.R. Tambo, people were killed. There was quadro. There was a firing squad. Why is there no one reminding us here of what Joe Mudise did in the camps, what Chrisani did in the camps, what O.R. Tambo did in the camps? We are reminded here about what a woman has done. Why? Because a woman has done that which was supposed to be done by men. If it was a man that was alleged to have killed Stompy, who was a Mpimpi, that man would have been saluted and be given all titles, Commissar, Commander, the fearless one. How many of these men, not only in exile, killed our own people here in South Africa? We are not being reminded of that. Never hate women, for because they are not women, they are human beings. They are the same as men. They are capable of doing what men can do. They can operate AK-47. Winnie Mandela is such an example that women can carry AK-47. When she shouted Viva ANC in the 80s, all men went under the table. She stood alone as a sign that women can actually do better than men. EFF, the first female president of South Africa, must come from the EFF to demonstrate that we are not scared of women. We see them as equal. We don't see them like the ANC as a tool to be used in a bedroom. We see them as a soldier equal to all soldiers, men or female. Fighters, any person who refuses to listen to women is an unreasonable person. All reasonable people don't have a problem listening to women. At home, when you are in trouble, Mutsi, when you are in trouble at home there in Northwest, and they found some condom in your pocket, you are not going to explain that a founding of condom. You are going to be screaming. I'm not going to be undermined by a woman here. Asibuzi ngabudoda. Sibuza ngekondom ukuthi ifunani la. All fools who have got no respect for women, they don't listen to women. Because if you listen to a woman, you'll be depleted, you'll be finished. She will collapse. All of us who have engaged in an exchange with women, we make noise and noise and noise, and they don't respond. They wait until you keep quiet. And then from there they attack softly. And then from there you have no comeback. Why? Because you are paralyzed. The truth just paralyzed you. The reason we don't listen to them is because they are the most reasonable people. There is no woman in the world who has started a World War I, World War II. There is no woman who has ever sent people to go and bomb other nations because he wants an oil or minerals from that. Always the unreasonable ones, men. George Bush, men. Donald Trump, men. Makanda Zuma, men. Let women in our ranks rise. Let women wear overalls the same way we wear overall. And if they choose to wear the domestic workers' clothes, let it be their choice, and not because anyone imposed it on them. Let them decide what they want to do. The respect you can give to Winnie Mandela, it's a respect for a woman. You start by respecting your own partner, your own woman. Because if you've got no respect for your partner, then you don't have respect for your mother, then you don't have respect for your grandmother, you will never respect any woman. What are we learning from Winnie Mandela? We must learn that we must respect women. Because women make better soldiers. Because women make better leaders. Because women are mothers, they care. Winnie Mandela cared for our people. When we stand here to speak about Winnie Mandela, we don't seek cameras. We lived with her. We protected her in the same way she protected us. We ate her food. We slept at her house. She was a mother. We know the love of a mother from Winnie Mandela. This Winnie Mandela they write about, we don't know. We've got our own image of Winnie Mandela, of a caring mother who will do anything for her children. Like your own mother at home at night when your father is scared to wake up, when there is a noise outside, your mother will always be the first one to wake up to go and check if the children are safe. a itswa tshwere lefetlo or lekgo la bogobe a bula le mati a re ke mang ka mo jareteng yaka, without knowing what the other side is carrying. But because of the love of her children, because she's a protector of her children, she doesn't care what comes her way. She wants to protect her children. That's what Winnie was. Winnie wanted to protect her children. In everything she did, all she wanted was to protect her children. That's what a mother does. I don't care what darkness holds for me. I will go outside because I hear movements in this yard, yet my kids are sleeping. Those are our mothers. Those are African mothers. Winnie did not just say that. Her own comrade minister, in 1997, when she wanted to be the president, deputy president, demanded by branches, her own comrades went to George Fivers, the apartheid police commissioner, and said to George Fivers, investigate her with murder. Gave George Fivers all types of monies to go and investigate Winnie Mandela. Why? Because she must be found guilty with murder so that she doesn't qualify to become the deputy president. People say here, you are given Zuma by Malema. Zuma became president of the deputy president of the ANC In 1997 in Mafike, where Winnie Mandela was prevented from contesting. If Winnie Mandela was allowed to contest in 1997, we will not have Zuma today. They gave us Zuma in 1997. Winnie Mandela, the president we never had. Winnie Mandela, the president we were denied to have by men who suffered serious ego politics and will not allow themselves to be led by a woman. The coordinator of the Free State ANC, I saw you with Gwedemantash in a hall here, organizing a memorial service. And in that memorial service, Gwede says, Winnie Mandela's funeral is going to be chaos. I wish to send you to him to tell him that Winnie Mandela's funeral will not be chaos. Because Winnie Mandela was never chaos. Gwede says Winnie was chaos. But I forgive Gwede. Because Gwede joined the ANC in 1992. He doesn't know Winnie Mandela. He's not qualified to talk about Winnie Mandela. That's why he says Winnie Mandela is chaos. He knows Winnie Mandela of the citizen, Winnie Mandela of the Sowetan, not the Winnie Mandela that protected the fire eaters of the 80s. Gwede's age was qualifying him to join underground or MK or go to. He has never been to prison. He has never been to holding cells. Nothing. And then he comes here to Brandfort to go and tell Mama Nora about Winnie Mandela, that Winnie Mandela is chaos. You tell Mama Nora, who went to save Winnie Mandela from going to prison, that you have saved chaos. That's what you are saying to her. That you should have left chaos to go and rot and die in jail. That's what they wanted. We thank you for having saved her. That's why we came here. We came here to say thank you, not through a television, in your presence, in the presence of people of Brandfort. We say thank you. We thank you. We thank the people of Brandfort. Thank you for protecting Mama. Thank you for providing home for Mama. Thank you for loving Mama. Because we are here today. Because of you. If it was not you, this freedom will not have been realized. Mama Nora, if it was not you, they would have locked her up. And she was the only one who kept the fires burning. If they had successfully locked her up, it was done. Today she's called a chaos by arrivalists who know nothing about politics except factional politics, who are told of our mother as chaos by those who are a terrible accident of history, who find themselves by coincidence into positions of responsibility. They are not our leaders. Gwede says at his funeral you must organize chaos. Maybe you will be there. Coordinator of Free State, we won't be there. We have no time to bury cowards. We will only be at Winnie Mandela's funeral, not funeral of cowards. At Gwede's funeral, there will never be such unity. For because Gwede has got no history or a place in the history of South Africa, he is a nobody, extremely insignificant, the size of an ant. You touch our mother, you touch us. You touch a woman, you touch a rock. This woman will kill him for their leader. Of course, consciousness, when it leaves you, it doesn't say goodbye. Politics are a difficult subject. That's why people end up saying things they don't even know what they mean. Winnie Mandela was not a wheelbarrow. I don't know what they wanted Winnie to do. Like when they left him here in South Africa, went into prison, went into exile, went underground. What was she supposed to do? Because she's not a wheelbarrow. It's not a wheelbarrow that you leave here and when you come back from exile you find it here and want to push it. Winnie Mandela was a thinker. She had to think, she had to act. And that's what she did. Please don't be wheelbarrows. You must be thinker. Don't live a coward life because you are equal as dead. Cowards die many times. Me, when I walk here as a product of Winnie Mandela, I am not scared of anything because I don't live a lie. You like me for who I am or you don't like me. You've got two choices to decide what you want to do. Because Mama taught us not to live a lie. When it is wrong, it's wrong. A spade is a spade, it's not a garden tool. Fighters, speak your mind, express yourself, and don't do that with arrogance. Do it with humility. Of Winnie Mandela. Fighters, you know our mother was elegant and beautiful. Firstly, she built a beautiful home for herself and her children when Madiba was in prison in Soweto. And then they said all manner of things about that house. Because everything she does, they were criticizing. The house is still standing there. Beautiful, solid. Why did she build that house? She never wanted to be tempted to go to the suburbs. She wanted to live and die amongst the people of Soweto. All of us have committed class suicide. Town. We left our people there. We don't even know what are the real issues affecting our communities. We read about them in Sowetan editorial because there is a gap in between. Mama's love for her people was a constant interaction with those people. She knew their suffering. She didn't read about it in the papers. That's why she died fighting for them. Mama wanted the land. And Mama said she doesn't want a madness of driving white people to the sea. We say that all the time in the EFF. But it doesn't suit the narrative of those who own the media. We're being projected as people who don't want white people. We want white people. There's no problem with white people. White people have naturalized here. They are like our trees and mountains. They are like nature. They're naturalized here. So any person who says to you, we don't want white people, is not different from a person who says we don't want trees. Let's wake up tomorrow and cut all the trees and then this place will be extremely ugly. We will be an ugly nation without white people. We complement one another. That's what makes us a unique nation. Our demand for land is not driving whites to the sea. All we are saying to the white people, share the land. Share the land. And because we are in majority, we shall own a bigger portion. And you are in minority, we shall give you a space. Madulo ke a mangata ntlong ya ntate. Re tla le ngwathela space. Not the other way around. We cannot be allocated portions of land by white people. It must be the other way around. Oh, welcome. Yes, your portion. This is Africa. We all belong to it. Not the other way around. But it looks like it must be the other way around. With the policy of willing buyer, willing seller, even if you've got the money, if there is no willing seller, you can't buy a land. And of late, there's no willing seller. They are all holding into the property. What is going to happen to these people here? You are all going to die like Winnie Mandela and become a landless ancestor. We don't want a landless ancestors here. To bury you, it's a nightmare. You are born into this country, you've got no land, you live without land, you die. To bury you, we struggle. They chase you out of the farms when you die. That's what we're saying. Why would our people die without a piece of land? To be African, all of us here, we all have committed a sin. And not only who are sitting here, their parents and their parents. Because in African culture, yabutu, hamutu agula, aiba monna, aiba musadi. Reswante remofe peace ya lefatsi. Here is your portion. Tsamaya udibone, uare mutu wa hao. We have not given anyone a piece of land as a sign of appreciation, but also as a sign of saying to you, you are now old enough, take responsibility. The first instance of taking responsibility is by taking care of the land we have given to you. That's why we grow up to become drunkards. Because the only thing it was given to us is alcohol. We can only take care of alcohol. Which land are we going to take care of? Because we must say, you are ready now. Here's your portion. Here's your plot. You will grow it. Nothing has been done. Bana barna bana lefatsi. Bana barna ba ja dinyaupe. Bana barna ba ja bujwala. Bana barna ba sebetsi. Ba tla sebetsa lefatsi le lefi ka re ha bana lefatsi. Mesebetsi ke lefatsi. Tloelang ntho ya lona le re he re batla mesebetsi ha re batle mesebetsi re batla lefatsi re tla le sebetsa rona. We want to be our own employers. How batla o bula saloon ya o etsa moriri lefatsi. How batla o bula nyana spaza shop lefatsi. How about our studio ringo, so music lefatsi. There's nothing without land. It all starts with land. We're not fighting white people. We're having a robust debate as a country. And I'm worried that our journalists don't seem to be writing very well about this issue. Because there is a narrative out there that we want to commit a white genocide. Those are the people who can counter the land question issue with facts. They are using embedded journalism to lie so that they can give the Western powers to come and bombard us here when we take our land and say, no, you are committing white genocide. No white man has been killed in South Africa because of the land. Not even Terre Blanche was killed because of the land. The most high racist. He was not killed because they wanted to take the land. They killed him because he was molesting young people in the farms there and not paying their salaries. There is no case in South Africa of any white person killed because people wanted the land. No, not even one. There is no case in South Africa of any white person forced out of his own property. Not even by EFF. What we did as the EFF was to occupy the unoccupied land. Hey, that one we do it peacefully, there is no problem. That's all we did. We are occupying the unoccupied land while we are still waiting for a proper fertile land. It must still come. It doesn't. We are passing time with empty land. We are looking for the real thing. And we are going to do so without killing any white person. There will never be blood. That's what Mama told us. No blood. You must fight in such a way that you use the political power you have to transfer land into the hands of the people. I stand here in the memorial service of Mama Winnie to commit that there will never be a white man killed in South Africa because of the land. The land will be transferred into the hands of the people peacefully, so through exercising of the political power. Na re tshwanele ANC ke nana le etsa pila le sa re fe power nke le re zama iwane o tla bona wena e no etsa mistake o tlise power. We are going to take this land without a drop of blood. To amend the constitution is constitutional. Anyone who says when you amend the constitution to take the land, you are doing an unconstitutional thing, is an illiterate. The constitution allows that it must be amended through 2/3 majority to speed up the process of changing property relations in South Africa. Comrades, my last point, Chair, and Bishop Siok, and all pastors here. Our government has declared how many days? 10 days of mourning. 10 days of mourning. They say there is a 10 days of mourning. And then they announce it, and then the flags must fly at half-mast. And then that is the end of it. What is a mourning period in South Africa? What do you mean that this is a mourning period? What must we do practically? Because you declare it a mourning period, but it's business as usual. What is even worse in this country, a person who declares a mourning period for Mama Winnie goes to Limpopo in a place called Mokwakwaila. He's dancing like Chomi on stage during a mourning period. What is a mourning period in South Africa? Music is played, festivals are going on, alcohol is sold even to children. There's nothing that changes in South Africa. It actually becomes worse. Because before mourning period, I never saw Cyril dancing, but he danced during a mourning period. Have we abandoned our culture? What is our African culture? Because when you say this is a mourning period, you mean the family South Africa is in mourning. That's why I address a moki jacket. Because that's what we do during a mourning period. During a mourning period, come on high. Halele butlokong, hale light television, hale raluki music, hale nuyala. What is a mourning period in South Africa? Or nobu anje, everything we just say for the sake of saying it. Or a mourning period, it's a period that allows us to steal government money because it's a state funeral. Therefore, we will shortcut the procurement process in the name of a mourning period. What is a mourning period? What must happen? What must I do as a South African? PSL games are playing. That's why Chiefs is losing 3-0 here. Mourning period. How do you play PSL games during because a league must be suspended. All of those things. Comrades, I was in Cuba when Fidel Castro was buried. And I happened to get into a maxi taxi there. They don't play radio. No taxi place radio, no nothing. In the hotel, they don't sell alcohol. In a restaurant, you want alcohol, you go into your room, lock yourself in your room and drink alcohol. Why? It's a mourning period. We need cultural revolution in South Africa. We need to change the mindset of Africans. We need to restore the dignity of Africans. But Brandfort, re tlile mo re re go lona re be re batla fela o expose ntlo e ba e bona gore batho ba bo minister ba rona ba entseng ntlo ya Winnie. Today lefatshe le a tseba ka ntlo e gore ditšhelete di jilwe di jiwa ka mo ntlong ya Winnie. Re a e batla, re sa o batla museum o. Re tlile mo Brandfort mo re batho ba tsebe all over the world gore a lena metsi. Minister stood up here and said the water is coming. You know why the water is coming? Because the EFF came here to Brandfort. If the EFF did not come here, you were not going to get water. Brandfort minister was not in the program of the ANC. Brandfort was not in the program of government. You never had intentions to come here. But once the EFF announced, you all came here running. But Brandfort, I'm not complaining. I'm happy water is coming. When we leave here, the legacy of the EFF will be water in Brandfort. That's what EFF does. Everywhere we go, the lives of our people change for the better. And that's what we came here for. Re batla ditsela mo. Go be le ditsela tse dintle. Re batla di street light, not the Apollo. Because ha una Apollo ko toropo. Ntho ngwe le ngwe e tsalang toropo re batla mo locationeng mo. Because le rena we are equal to white people. Comrades, you must never be demoralized. Let's continue to fight. Winnie Mandela in isolation. For many days, she never gave up. You are not in isolation. You are with your family. There is nothing that should be used to demoralize you. The suffering of our people should actually energize you and agitate you to fight for a better life. I want to take this opportunity to thank bomme ba rona ba meaparo. Re a leboha batswadi ba rena ha le tlile le tlo honora mme wa rona. Re a leboha tanki le ka moso. Re lebohe baruti ba rona, all the pastors and the bishops who came here, prayed for us and honored us. Don't get tired of praying for us, because it is only through your spiritual intervention that will keep on soldiering on. We need that prayer. We need those words of encouragement. I want to thank all the political parties, including the leadership of the ANC. Your coming here did not mean we must not criticize. We criticize even in your presence, because we are not gossiping. We are telling the truth the way it is. Thank you very much, the people of Brandfort. Amandla! Amandla! Long live the fighting spirit of Winnie Mandela, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Solomon Mahlangu, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Robert Sobukwe, long live! Long live the fighting spirit of Steve Biko, long live! Amandla! Auno Makubi! Siyaya, Siyaya, no makubi, Siyaya, Siyaya.
Those, of course, live visuals from the EFF's memorial service for the late Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela in Brandfort, the town where she was banished out of sight. She was meant to be, and the EFF pointedly reminding South Africans, reminding the world really of the history of Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela when she was on her own, when she'd been forgotten, when she was out of sight, taken away by the apartheid state. And that's where they chose to have their memorial.
Yeah, of course, this comes after the main memorial service in Orlando that was ANC government led, but Patricia de Lille was in attendance at the EFF memorial. She was talking about Mama Winnie's treatment at the hand of government. Julius Malema talking about their similarities, saying she was no coward. He believes they both have the ability to call a spade a spade. And he called Gwede Mantashe a few things. He wasn't holding back there at all, saying that he, the now mining minister, the former Secretary General, had criticized Winnie Mandela, but he in fact was a nobody, he said. And he spoke, I like the way he spoke about her decision to stay in Soweto, saying that was her show of commitment to the people on the ground.
Really a rewriting of history, if you will. That's what we saw today in many ways. Patricia de Lille making references to what happened in Beijing and how, as part of the South African delegation to that women's conference, that international women's conference in 1995, Winnie Madikizela-Mandela had not even been given a hotel room. There were no arrangements made to even receive her. And she says she left in protest, of course, because she thought she was being mistreated, but also bringing us up to date, I suppose, with the latest goings on in her party, saying that recently she'd been called by Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela to say those boys don't know who they're dealing with. And her response, of course, characteristically was, don't worry, I've got it under control.
All right, it's been an interesting day. We'll bring you all the action. Let's get straight into tonight's top stories.
South Africa pays a moving tribute to the late Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela at a memorial service at Orlando Stadium in Soweto.
Struggle veteran Dr. Zola Skweyiya also remembered far and wide after passing away this morning.
South Africa win gold and bronze in the long jump, taking the country's medal tally to 26 at the Commonwealth Games.
All right, South Africans paying moving tributes to the late Mama Winnie Madikizela-Mandela at a memorial service at Orlando Stadium in Soweto today.
Thousands of people came to honor the woman known as the Mother of the Nation.
It was a moment to celebrate the life of one of the country's foremost struggle stalwarts. Her appeal cutting across party lines as different political parties also attended. True to her spirit, time and again the stadium reverberated. Deputy President said she had set an example to be emulated.
Her concern for the well-being of others made her a formidable champion of human rights. Her unselfish activism epitomizes true values of a servant leadership, which all of us must emulate as we go about performing our leadership responsibilities.
Perhaps the most moving of the tributes came from her personal assistant, who recounted her last moments with Mama Winnie.
I remember one time I was in church, and for some strange reason I shared with the lady that was sitting next to me. I said to her, do you know I am Mrs. Winnie Mandela's personal assistant? And she looked at me and she said, you wish. I said, okay. And just then somebody said, Sizoto, you have to start a hymn. I didn't even know which hymn to start. I just started a hymn. But that's how exciting it was.
Called the Mother of the Nation, even her grandchildren and great-grandchildren had fond memories.
Big Mommy was the kindest, happiest, smartest, most inspiring, fashionable, loving person I knew. My grandmother was the best. Big Mommy, we all love you.
There's no doubt that Mama Winnie touched the hearts of many. Thousands turned to celebrate her life and say their goodbyes. Many more are expected here on Saturday when the country give her the final send-off. President Ramaphosa